to the show. Those are your options. You can watch the show. You can listen to the show. Looks like we're good there. Yep, we're good there. Okay, cool. Everything's going good so far. And boom, we just got to click that button right there. And we should be rocking and rolling over on Facebook and on YouTube. Beautiful. All right, check it out. So woke up this morning, grab my big glass of water, head downstairs, grab my Morning 5 planner. Boom, pow. That guy right there, Morning 5 planner, at the top of the page every day in the Morning 5 planner is a quote submitted by actual members of this community, people who watch the show, people who buy the book, people from all over the world. It's amazing, right? And today's quote was, when you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, that is when you will be successful. And that quote was submitted by the one and only Trey Hill, right? Trey Hill is the dog, all right? He comes from the auto industry as well. When you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you will be successful. So as soon as I read that quote this morning, I thought of my time learning from the great Eric Thomas. This is an Eric Thomas quote. Eric Thomas is one of the one of the best motivational speakers in the world. And I've had the opportunity to share stages with him, as well as the opportunity to spend a day with him, traveling around with him, which was absolutely amazing. And we've become friends over the years. We've done some courses together and different interviews and so on and so forth. And so I immediately was brought back to Mr. Eric Thomas, because obviously this is his quote. And I thought, Eric's been talking about this for a very long time. But what does that really mean? When you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, that's when you'll be successful. So then I thought, well, what does it feel like when you want to catch a breath, right? Like you've been holding your breath, or you're underwater, or you're in shock and you can't catch your breath and you just desperately want to breathe. What is that like? And this is what I came up with. Check it out. One more time for the people in the back. This is it right here. This is how bad you need to want to succeed in order to be successful. I'm gonna give it to you one more time. Check it out. Oh boy, it was like that's the level, right? What do you think that kid's worried about? Catching that next breath. That's all he's worried about. Do you think he's worried about toys? Do you think he's worried about his PlayStation? Do you think he's worried about, getting a phone for Christmas? No. So dialed, so focused on one thing, catching that breath. That is the level of intentionality. This success thing is being painted as something easy. This success thing is being portrayed as though everyone can and will have it. And that's simply not the reality. It takes deep, dialed intentionality and focus, like unwavering focus on achieving that ultimate goal in order to truly be successful. When you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, that's when you'll be successful. Good morning and welcome to Rise and Grind Live. Unlock your full potential with the power of daily motivation, education, inspiration with your host, Glenn Lundy, a husband to one, father to 8, global motivational speaker, and the author of The Morning 5.
I'm Heather Parady, former therapist turned online entrepreneur and wannabe comedian.
Celebrity interviews, transformational information, and a massive community around the #1 morning show in the world. It's 5:30 a.m. and it's time to rise and grind. Hey, good morning, good morning. How are you, my friend? How are you, my friend? Dude, today is Wednesday, aka CMA Day. That's right, Carter Myers Automotive Group. I get to spend some time with Liza Myers Borges a little bit later today, which I'm super excited about. Carter Myers Automotive Group, one of the most amazing automotive groups in the country. I get the opportunity to spend time with them every Wednesday. So we call Wednesday CMA Day. And those of you that are over on Facebook, you know what we need to do. If you would, please tag your friends, help them find the link. For some reason, Facebook's been hiding the show from people, especially for the last week. I don't know. It's been crazy. So if you would tag some folks. Today is also Wednesday, November 29th, 2023. That's right. Wednesday, November 29th, 2023. And what's crazy is today is the very first and the very last time it'll ever be Wednesday, November 29th, 2023. So I want to make sure we make the absolute most, and I do mean the absolute most of this absolutely incredible day. Does that sound fair? Cool. All right. I'm coming to you live from Lexington, Kentucky after a successful trip to Mississippi yesterday. Went to Mississippi yesterday. Spent some time with some amazing humans. My guy Evan and I were able to fly out there in the morning, and we were able to fly back in the evening in time for Taco Tuesday. I wasn't sure if we were going to make it, but we did. But I got to spend some time with Mark Kubicki and the Walt Massey Auto Group. My guy Steve and Gerald, one of a kind. Brandon Walker, incredible guy. Like Cassie and Justin. We just had a phenomenal time. It was a short trip, right? Just a few hours in and out, but it was massively successful. But here we are. We're back here in Lexington, and we are in a series called Here We Go Again. And this series was ultimately designed in hopes to help you and me, I guess I should say, in hopes to help you and me to become aware of the areas in our lives where we might be stuck, or areas of our lives that might be holding us back. And we don't even know it, right? We might not even know it. This series is designed to help you and me break free of the limiting beliefs that we might have, and we don't even know that they're there. And so today, what we're going to do is, we've been going through this through the week, but today what we're going to do is we're going to discuss how to create everlasting change through habits and micro routines. So once we are aware of these particular areas, once we've determined how we're going to break through these limiting beliefs, now we got to create some new habits. We got to create some new patterns, create some new micro routines. But we're going to talk about that. How do we really create everlasting change, right? But before we go too far, you know what we got to do. I love music. The power of music to just immediately shift to take you from over here to over here. It's amazing. Let's go. Come on. For those of you that know, those of you that don't know, is it too loud? It's probably too loud. I'm going to drop it down just a little bit. There we go. We'll drop it down just a little bit. For those of you that know, and those of you that don't know, this is the part of the show where I need you to hit that share button. All right? I need you to hit that share button. Clubhouse, share it out. YouTube, share it out. Facebook, share it out. Make some noise. This is also the part of the show where I want to say good morning to you. I want you to say good morning to me, whether you're watching live or you're watching on replay. What's up? Say what's up. I'll say what's up back. Does that sound fair? All right, cool. T.M. Hyman, glad you're here. Marilyn Wilkin, what's up? Scott Simon, great to see you. Marvin from across the pond. My guy, Ramon, in the building. Dora Maria, Christina, Todd, Liza, Dustin, Stars Tina, Dr. Jeannie, and Dr. Janie Lacey. Right next to each other, Dr. Jeannie and Dr. Janie. We got Melvin and Dawn and Maria and Natasha, Jackie and Ryan and Bella and Monty and River and Crystal and Mike and Veronica, Trey and Gloria, Trisha and Tori, William, Bashan and Carla and Babs and Tracy and Jackie and Sol and Janice, Tarika, Mary, Kim, Isu, Texas, Jafar. Everybody up in here. How you doing, V? What's up, Mike and Jaihan? We got the doctor, we got Jenny, we got James, we got Jabon, we got Regina and Tawanda and Dylan and Lawanda and Erica and Maria and Renee and Annette. We got the Naya Met and Rachel and Amparo and David and Ross 777, Luis and Frank and Aisha and Ryan and Bree and Aaron and Mindy Mignon. We got Leslie and Jasmine and Flowers and Leslie and Cass and Lundina. What's up, honey? How you doing, Muhammad? How you doing, Tina? How you doing, Tanya? Yoshi and Brian and Michael and Morex and Kinjiro and Spencer and Christine and Hanson. Wow. Lunch today, including Tarika and Catherine, Veronica, Alicia, Janelle, Diego, Carrie Lynn Carter with her new Lexus, Michelle McLean, Renee Hayes, Tara Hope, Patricia Rue, Mike Strong, Sarah Wagner Eversman, Randy Wagner, oh my goodness. Vicki Everett's in the building. Angela Heath is in the building. Mama Primacino is in the building. Tisha White. I hope I got everybody today. Russell Hill, Rodney Rock Hatfield. We're going long. I want to make sure. Robin Price. I want to say good morning to everybody. I love each and every one of you. Jeremy Nolan in the building. Joanna Cooper Hamilton. Boom! That's the one I was waiting for. I knew it. I knew it. I just knew it. I'm like, no, we're not done yet. We're not done saying good morning yet. James Boardwine. I'm glad you're here. Don Sankey. I think I said your name twice, but just in case, because you're twice as nice. Christina Howard is in the building. Ladies and gentlemen, oh my goodness. You have no idea. You have no idea, man. Get up 3:20 in the morning. Look outside, it's 19 degrees. I'm like, it's 19 degrees. 19 degrees out there. Do these people know? Do these people know what I go through to be here with you? Thank you so much for choosing to be here. I greatly, greatly, greatly appreciate it. Tanya Colquhoun, I see you as well. Hey, if you haven't done so already, Morning 5 Planners, go get you one, dude. TheMorning5Planner.com, TheMorning5Planner.com. Liza, by the way, thank you for yesterday. I appreciate you. TheMorning5Planner.com. You'll get you a planner. You can also pre-order the book, The Legacy Titles. You can pre-order that book. I'm very, very, very excited about this book. I'm super proud of this book. And I think that you'll really enjoy it. My mom like tells me the truth all the time, right? She'll be like, your show today was not good. Or she'll be like, it was good, right? Like she feels this need and desire to protect me. So she always tells me the truth. And she has read the Legacy Titles. And she said that she really, really enjoyed it. It flows amazingly. She doesn't know where I got these writing skills from. And she also said that she has nothing to do with business and nothing to do with automotive, but she was able to pick up so many things about life through reading the book. And I thought, come on, ain't no bigger compliment than that. That's what I'm talking about. So make sure you get yourself a copy. The Legacy Titles, you can pre-order, should be out somewhere in January. You can also text the word legacy to 859-208-2351 if you want to be on the inside of where we're doing like book launches and all kinds of other things like that. Just text legacy to 859-208-2351 and you'll be an insider. All right, that's enough of that. Let's keep going.
Here we go again, over and over again. I set a goal and then you just don't do it. Here we go again. Glenn Lundy, I need some help. I'm struggling. Here I go again. I have freaking set a ton of goals and have not accomplished any of them. I'm being dramatic. Help me.
So here I go again.
No, we already sang that.
Oh, we already sang it. Okay. Here's the thing. I believe that most adults know that they're supposed to write their goals, set their goals, and go after and achieve their goals. However, if you ask people to raise their hand on who actually does it, the number is very small. And I believe, in my personal experience, the reason for that, Heather, is that goals by themselves can actually create a negative energy around us. They can actually make us feel less than. I want a bigger house. I want more money. Wish I was better looking. That can all create a negative experience. And so to me, the key to really tackling, achieving, and following through on those goals and commitments that you make is that you have to start from a space of gratitude. I'm grateful that I have a roof over my head. I'm grateful my bills are paid. I'm grateful I woke up today. and I want a bigger house, and I'm going to commit to whatever the thing is, right? So it's two-pronged. You got to fuel the goal with gratitude for how far you've come, and that fuel will keep you in the game when things get hard, right? Like, oh, it's a fitness goal and I'm going to do this every single day. Okay, great. Well, when it's hard, we need to go to a space of gratitude. Like, I'm grateful for this opportunity that I have two legs that I can run on, even though the run might hurt. I'm grateful, that I live in a country where I have the freedom to go and work on my body, right? Even though your body might hurt. So I believe the fuel to accessing and achieving your goals is not just commitment and grit and spit and all of that stuff, but a whole lot of gratitude along the way to shift our minds when we get to a place where we try to back out of whatever that challenge is.
I'll do better.
For those of you that weren't here, Monday, we talked about really looking at different areas of your life, your health, your family, your finances, and saying, am I happy? Am I happy with this? Like, being really raw and honest with yourself in all the different areas. Do you like who you see in the mirror? Just being real. And then we talked about if there's areas of your, whether it be your faith, your fitness, your family, your friends, your finances, your career, your mental health, your education. If there's any of these areas you're like, nah, man, this isn't good. Like, admit that, ADMIT, admit that, and then commit to changing that, right? Like, that's really where it starts. First, you have to admit it. It has to become real. And then we have to commit to changing it. Now, once we do that, we can really inspect it, right? We can inspect, we can audit, and we can review. We can inspect the, fact it, don't feel it. We don't want this to be feelings. We want this to be facts. What's up, Eric Jericho? So then we inspect, and Ava. Hi, Ava. I'm so glad you're here. We inspect, we audit, and then we review, right? We talked about that a lot on Monday. Then Tuesday, we started off with this incredible quote. We are going to emancipate ourselves from mental slavery because whilst others might free the body, none but ourselves can free the mind. Mind is your only ruler. Sovereign. The man/woman who is not able to develop and use his mind, her mind, is bound to be the slave of the other man who uses his mind. And Tuesday, we continued to dive a little bit deeper and get an understanding of limiting beliefs, which are thoughts or convictions that you believe to be true. And because you believe them to be true, they prevent you from doing certain things. They can be about yourself or about how the world works, ideas, or how you interact with people. So we talked about that. And that leads us to the actual change, creating and making everlasting change. Like, does everlasting change even really exist? It's a big question, right? Does lasting change exist? Now, we talked about some techniques yesterday of how we could test that, how we could start to experience that, right? Like, we talked about just being really thoughtful and mindful of the words that we use and actually monitoring our thoughts. Then we talked about affirmations, telling ourselves the right things, right? I'm creative, I'm curious, I'm talented, I'm amazing, I'm beautiful, things like that. We talked about getting a mentor. We talked about getting a coach. We talked about all of those things. And now here we are in this moment where we're ready to create everlasting change, where we want to succeed as bad as we want to breathe, where we can feel it in our core. We've got this moment happening in our life right now. You're awake, you feel it, and you're ready, right? Drop it in the chat. I want to see it. I'm ready for the change, ready for everlasting change. Not a brief change, not a change that exists for a little while, not anything like that. But in that particular area, whether it's my faith, my fitness, my finances, my family, my friends, my career, my mental health, my education, like I'm ready to create everlasting change. I see it. Okay, good. You guys are with me this morning. I love it. Alicia's ready. Ramon's ready. Rodney's ready. James is ready. Rika's ready. Robin's ready. Love it. Angela's ready. Everlasting change. So now that we're ready, we have to ask the question, does everlasting change actually exist? Is it real? You know, it's so funny. People are still really surprised. Like people from my past, from my early days, people who knew me when I was a crook, when I was a thug, when I was a punk, when I was homeless, when I was in and out of jail, when I was making poor decisions, people who knew me then, like they're still kind of surprised sometimes. They still don't all the way trust that Glenn has actually changed. It's so funny. My buddy Nick, and regretfully, his wife passed away last week, and him and I were talking at the funeral thing, and he had told me, he said, you know, yeah, he's got a little girl named Harper. And he said, you know, when we first had her, I talked to Mandy about you maybe being the godfather. And he said, when I mentioned it to her, Mandy was like, you know, I like Glenn a lot. I think he's amazing. I love what he's done with his life. And I remember how he used to be. And I'm not so sure if that's who I want to be the godfather of my child, right? He shared that with me, but that's the thing, right? Like it's so rare and so unique to see someone truly create everlasting change that it really stands out, right?
My idea to become a Navy SEAL was me on my couch at 297 pounds with a box of mini donuts and a chocolate milkshake. It wasn't like it was like some eureka moment. Over a period of time of just living in my own head, I got sick of being haunted by being nobody. I was in the Air Force for about 4 years, and my big thing was I wanted to be Air Force pararescueman, some of the best medics on the planet Earth. As I got in the program, I started realizing that they had this thing called water confidence. Basically, they make you very uncomfortable underwater. So I realized at that point in time that I hated being underwater. I hated holding my breath. For 6 weeks, I hung in the program. I didn't sleep at all for fear of going back to the pool, for fear of drowning in my head. About 6 weeks in, we have this physical, and they realize I have sickle cell trait. Back in the day, I used to lie about whatever made me feel insecure. On my official paperwork out of pararescue training, it has David Goggins left on a medical. But the truth of the matter is, I left because I quit. I had to find a different job in the Air Force. In 4 years being in the Air Force, I gained 125 pounds. I get out of the Air Force, and I'm working for a job spraying for cockroaches. 40 restaurants I was in charge of. I go in there at nighttime and I spray. I would stop at Steak and Shake, get a large chocolate milkshake. I would go across the street to 7-Eleven, get a box of mini donuts. On the way home, I'd be popping donuts like Tic Tacs. I would get home, turn the TV on. This is my routine. Start taking a shower and listen to the TV as I'm showering. This particular day, I started hearing Navy SEALs, toughest training. And I was hearing it cut out between the water hitting my ears. So I came out of the shower. At the end of the show, this commanding officer gives a speech. He says, we live in a society where mediocrity is often rewarded. These 22 men detest mediocrity. I invented this thing called the accountability mirror when I was growing up. And I got a chance to go into that mirror and look at myself and call myself out. I'm afraid of this, I'm afraid of that. Being raw and real about who I am and about what I'm hiding from. And so to overcome all this, my bright idea was to try to become the one thing I was afraid of, a Navy SEAL. That day, I started calling recruiters up. And for 2 weeks, this happened. This recruiter laughed at me, that recruiter laughed at me, this recruiter said, there's no way. And every time I heard a no, I said, no, it's not meant to be. So I get back in my car and start driving back to work. And after I'd be at work for a few hours, man, I said, man, you can't give up that easy. So finally I said, this is my last call I'm gonna make. He was real busy. He said, just come on in. People don't walk in the office trying to be a Navy SEAL weighing 297 pounds. You walk in looking the way I look now. So he brought me back to a scale, and I remember looking in front of me was a height weight chart. For me, I'm 6'1". I could only weigh 191. I had to lose 106 pounds in less than 3 months. So I went on this crazy routine and eating hardly nothing. And in less than 3 months, I lost 106 pounds. I'm the only person in Navy SEAL history to be in 3 Hell Weeks in 1 year. Hell Week is 130 hours of continuous training. I got into Hell Week, got double pneumonia, stress fractures, got rolled back to day 1, week 1. I broke my kneecap. So I reported back to day 1 of Navy SEAL training broken. And we had a guy die in my 3rd Hell Week. So Hell Week ended about 30 hours early. I had severe stress fractures. My knee is now blown up again. I knew I wasn't gonna get a chance to go back through Hell Week again. I made a decision to myself, there's no more quitting. So that's when I went and got duct tape. For the first 45 minutes, the duct tape hurt like hell. But after 45 minutes, my legs would go numb. Once stuff goes numb, you can't feel it. So that's how I went through the rest of 22 more weeks of Navy SEAL training. I was already at rock bottom my whole life. So when you know how rock bottom feels, you don't mind sleeping in the sewer. So at that point, once I realized that I already experienced the bottom, I no longer had fear of failure. But this took a long time. It's one like I woke up and, oh, eureka, I got it. And I started realizing that the mind is the most powerful weapon that we have. Once I was able to quiet my mind and realize that I was really not cursed, but blessed to have so many tools that I never saw as tools. While growing up, so much hardship. Only thing that can happen for me now is this victory.
Fast forward, David Goggins has become a New York Times bestselling author. He has sold millions and millions of books all around the world. He's one of Heather's favorites. He's also speaking on, I don't want to say speaking, but he's gracing the stages all around the world. He's created everlasting change. And by doing so, it's so unique and so rare, he's also inspired so many others to do the same. So I think that we can confidently say, I just gave you like living evidence, I think we can confidently say that everlasting change is possible. And if it's possible for 297-pound, sitting on the couch eating donuts, spraying for roaches, David Goggins, then I'd venture to say that it's possible for you and it's possible for me. You see, one of the first things about everlasting change is you have to truly believe. You have to believe that it's possible, that things can be different, that you can see the world through different eyes, that you can experience life in a different way. You have to believe that. Because as we talked about earlier in the week, our words have power, our thoughts have power. If you think that would never be me, I could never do that. If you can't even see yourself being that new, being that change that you want to see, if you can't even believe it, you can never, ever, ever, ever achieve it. But here's the thing. If you can get to the point of belief, where even just a small amount, right? God says faith the size of a mustard seed. Belief is that powerful. If you can believe it just enough, just a tiny little bit, then creating everlasting change is not really as hard as you think. Some of you may or may not know, this is my friend Danelle Delgado. Well, I should say This was my friend, Danelle Delgado. This is a picture of her not too long ago, just a few years back. And Danelle has been very successful in business and very successful in many aspects, speaks on stages all around the world and so on and so forth. And for the longest time, she just believed that she carried her weight a certain way and that she would always kind of be a certain shape and size, and that ultimately she didn't have the time, the effort, the energy, or the desire to do anything about it. And then about a year ago, maybe less, she started to believe. She had someone breathe into her. She had someone come into her life and help inspire her enough to believe that she could actually do something about it. And fast forward, and this was in San Antonio. This is my friend Danelle now. And she is as healthy as she's ever been. Well, I guess you can't really see it there from that angle. I thought my camera guy had it more on her. But she's healthy as she's ever been, mentally, physically. She's crushing it. She's crushing life. She's crushing business. She's super healthy. And she just looks great. She looks great and she feels great. And I'm so proud of her, right? I'm so incredibly proud of her because she finally took this one thing, this demon that she had in her life that she hid well, and she walked around and, lived with. And she finally had just enough belief that she could make the change. And once she believed it, once she changed the story that she was telling herself, she was able to change the result. So you have the power to change the story. And that's really what it comes down to. Everlasting change is simply shifting the story in your mind. Changing the story to whatever the one that you're currently experiencing, the limiting belief that you currently have, shifting that story. In such a way that you can now create something new. If it's possible for her, then it's possible for you. If it's possible for David Goggins, then it's possible for me. Change the story, change the result. That's the power of a story. I'm going to end it real quick back where we started. My guy, Eric Thomas, that we mentioned at the beginning of this segment, when you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, that's when you'll be successful. It was one story that completely transformed his life and created everlasting change. Here's that story.
So if you want to make six figures, you can't just be talking about you want to make six figures. You hear what I'm saying to you tonight? If you do the three things I tell you to do tonight, I guarantee you, whatever it is you want to do in life, you'll be able to do. You will be able to accomplish whatever you want to academically, financially, relationally, whatever. So three things. All right, I'm going to tell you the story. I got to get out of here. And the story is about, you guys have probably heard about this before. It was a young man who, he wanted to make a lot of money. And so he went to this guru, right? And he told the guru, I want to be on the same level you're on. And so the guru said, if you want to be on the same level I'm on, I'll meet you tomorrow at the beach at 4 a.m. He like, the beach? I said, I want to make money. I don't want to swim. Guru said, if you want to make money, I'll meet you tomorrow, 4 a.m. So the young man got there at 4 a.m. He all ready to rock and roll, got on the suit. He should have worn shorts. The old man grabs his hand and said, how bad do you want to be successful? He said, real bad. He said, walk on out in the water. So he walks out into the water. Watch this. When he walks out into the water, it goes waist deep. So he like, this guy crazy. Adrian, he's like, I want to make money. He got me out here swimming. I didn't ask to be a lifeguard. I want to make money. He got me in. So he said, come out a little further. Walked out a little further. Then he had it right around this area, the shoulder area. So this old man crazy. He's making money, but he crazy. He said, come on out a little further. Came out a little further. It was right at his mouth. My man like, I'm about to go back in here. This God is mine. So the old man said, I thought you said you wanted to be successful. He said, I do. He said, walk a little further. He came, dropped his head in, held him down, hold him down. My man getting scratching, holding him down. I got you. I know you brushed it out, but I got you. He had him held down. I need you for an illustration. He had him held down. Just before my man was about to pass out, he raised him up. He said, I got a question for you. Somebody answer the question for me. He said, when you were underwater, what did you want to do? Lee, I'm looking for a different word though. What's that word? He said, I wanted to breathe. He told the guy, he said, when you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful. I don't know how many of y'all got asthma in here today, but if you ever had an asthma attack before, you short of breath, SOB, shortness of breath, you wheezing. The only thing you trying to do is get some air. You don't care about no basketball game. You don't care what's on TV. You don't care about nobody calling you. You don't care about a party. The only thing you care about when you're trying to breathe is to get some fresh air. That's it. And when you get to the point where all you want to do is be successful as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful. And I'm here to tell you, number one, that most of you say you want to be successful, but you don't want it bad. You just kind of want it. You don't want it badder than you want to party. You don't want it as much as you want to be cool. Most of you don't want success as much as you want to sleep. Some of you love sleep more than you love success. And I'm here to tell you today, if you're going to be successful, you've got to be willing to give up sleep.
Eric Thomas told that story. He had told that story a few times, but he told that story and they put a camera on him. At the time, he was just speaking in high schools and locally. They put a camera on him. They put a little music on it. And that story went out to the world. And that story completely transformed his life. See, Eric Thomas always believed that he was the number one motivational speaker in the world. He always believed it. And once that got out, others were able to see what he was able to see, what he had always known inside. And it created everlasting change. He became the number one motivational speaker in the world. Your belief is attached to your ability to create. Creating everlasting change starts with your belief. So here's what I'm going to leave you with. I personally believe in you. I believe if there's an area of your life that you are challenged or that you would like to change, whether that be your faith, your fitness, your family, your finances, your relationships, your career, your mental health, your education, whatever area it is for you. I believe that as a child of God, the God of the universe, the God that made everything, as a part of this incredible existence in this incredible time, that you have in you everything that it takes to create that everlasting change. I believe that. I do. I believe that with all of my heart. I love you so stinking much. Like if nobody's told you yet today, I want to be the first. I absolutely stinking love you. So I believe for you. Now I just need you to join me. Join me in the belief. Once you believe, then we'll commit and we'll audit and we'll review and we'll inspect. We can do all those things together if you'd like and create the everlasting change in your life so you can go out and make a positive impact in others. Does that sound fair? That's our show. Thanks for being here with me today. I'm going to go hang out over on Clubhouse. If you haven't got your planner, go grab one, morning5planner.com. I'm going to go hang out on Clubhouse. We can chit chat for a little bit if you're watching live. If you're watching on replay, thank you for being here. Make sure you drop a comment so I know you stopped by. I see all of those comments and I really, really appreciate it. Make sure you drop a comment, hit the share button, all those great things. But most importantly, come back again tomorrow morning, 5:30 a.m. We'll do it all over again on hashtag Rise and Grind. I don't know. I'm feeling this now. I'm feeling this. Yeah, I think we got to go out this way today. Yeah, that's what we're doing. Peace.